My name is Jim Moran, and thanks very much for joining us for Why Management by the Numbers Doesn't Work. You can reach me at jim@simplifyiso.com, or over here on our website, you'll see this handy little contact button. This is from Daniel Markovitz. He did a blog post in the Harvard Business Review entitled The Folly of Stretch Goals. Management by numbers has many problems. We're going to talk about 3 of them in this video. First of all, these things called stretch targets can be very demotivating for people, especially when some of the contributing factors to the final number are out of the control of the person who's responsible for them. So if you set a target before you know what the system is capable of delivering, you'll be wrong 100% of the time. Half the time you'll be too high and you'll demoralize people. The other half of the time you'll be too low and you'll demotivate people. So setting targets without knowing capabilities is a very, very weak way to get people motivated. By setting a target and having people reach for it, it can take away the intrinsic value of doing something. People will work hard for you if they're doing something they enjoy and something they get satisfaction out of. When they're doing it just to hit a number, it takes that intrinsic internal value away. And this demoralizes people as well, resulting in a feeling of being manipulated. You don't like to be manipulated. None of your employees will like to be manipulated. So it's extremely important to create work environments that are fulfilling, enlightened, free from undue pressure, and give people an opportunity to show what they're good at. So finally, instead of demoralizing people with stretch targets, consider celebrating small wins, even tiny things. I've often said it's better to improve 100 things by 1% than one thing by 100%. The second problem with stretch goals is that they have a tendency to foster unethical behavior. One example of this is Sears in the 90s setting a $147 per hour goal for mechanics. So what this resulted in was mechanics finding things to bill customers for, or taking longer than they normally would have for the job that was assigned. So inadvertently, this stretch goal became a powerful incentive to deceive customers. So instead of employees finding ways to improve the effectiveness of the processes they were using, they were finding ways to hit the number. The last unwanted effect of stretch goals can be the encouragement for employees to take more risk than they normally would. One thing that comes to mind is Bre-X and the gold scandal. When Enron imploded in 2001, you'll see if you read a little bit about the history that they were trying to create revenue any way possible, and they were definitely going beyond the bounds of the normal risk that they would take. The other unethical behavior we've seen to reach a goal recently was with the Volkswagen diesel scandal. Engineers went to extreme measures to deceive the emissions program, the emissions testing methods, when they could have been spending that time re-engineering the engine to actually reduce emissions. You can probably think of some situations in your very own organization where stretch goals have been set and you ended up with unwanted behavior. The last thing we're suggesting here is that you just throw everything out. In fact, in ISO 9001-2015, clause 9.1.3 has a number of aspects that you do need to measure and use to analyze your results with. If you'd like to see if our platform could make your life easier in this department, by all means head over here to this nice big green button and schedule a demo. Take a look at it for 10 or 15 minutes and see if it might be a fit for you in your organization. Looking forward to seeing you next time for Why Management Training Doesn't Work. Bye for now.